On tonight's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the housewives reunite with Kim, PK, Eden, and a stuffed bunny, happening right now at AFTERBUZZ TV.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, AFTERBUZZers, and welcome to the after show for those Beverly Hills ladies. Reunion Part 2, and we have a panel full of voices and opinions, and an old voice from the Beverly Hills panel has returned. And before we get there, let's introduce ourselves, shall we? I'm your host, Grants__Rants on Twitter.
I'm Jennifer Leone, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV.
Fern Ronay here, so happy to be filling in, and you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere at Fern Ronay.
Hey guys, I'm Chris Valentine. You can find me on Twitter, aka Golden Boy, and Instagram, Chris Valentine 17.
We have an all-star panel here. Our shout out to Thomas, who's working tonight, and we're ready to talk about Part 2. And so was everybody else. PK was continuing to go into his moments on the show, which were many. I was surprised how much airtime they gave PK, but I guess that was the root of this season, was his commentary.
Yeah, without him, I feel like it would be really boring. Like, you know, just extra filler. They needed PK.
Yeah.
He is the seventh housewife this season.
The seventh housewife.
Yes.
As Erica's put it, you know, are you going to be hold a diamond next year? I love it.
There is so much hate for PK from everybody that you ask or talk to. But
Because
guys,
he's an ass, again, as
didn't you
Erica
feel
Jane would
just
say.
a tiny, tiny bit sorry for him at the very end? I mean,
No.
Okay, I knew you were going to
No.
say that.
No, and I try, and I really do
know.
try to have empathy and look at these things, but I'm like, look, it's just, to me, I will never be convinced that he is not there other than just to be on TV. I don't buy that the main reason is that he's there is for his wife. I'm sure that is part of it, but I know they said he was invited on, but he is there to be on TV. That's what I believe.
And what's wrong with that, Grant? What's wrong with that? we're on TV in a way. We all want to be on TV, and I just don't.
All right, well, all right, I can answer that.
Okay, good.
This is his wife's project,
Yes.
right? I mean, this is what she's supposed to be doing. So it's like, or what
not
she
doing
wants to
swimsuits.
do. Yeah, I know. I mean, she's not really doing much. And so it's like, you know, to me, this is kind of like, you know, if say my sister did a show, like I'd love to make an appearance in it, but I wouldn't ask to be on the reunion. Like that's her thing. You know, I feel like it's the housewives, it's his wife's project, it's her friends, so it's okay to be a part of it, but I don't know why you have to be on Part 1 and Part 2 of a reunion.
Well, I kind of see the way he acts with Dorit, they're like one. You know, they're operating as a unit. They do other shows. Jenna and I covered Hollywood Medium. They were on that. I feel that they're...
Was Dorit on that? I don't think she
You're
was.
right. He was on it. He was on it. But I feel like they work as a group, you know, and they want to be on reality shows. They want to promote.
I think what you're picking up on is him being overbearing. I don't think they work as one over him just
Interesting
being...
observation.
Okay.
I think he is a supportive husband, actually.
Thank you. I hope for on the show.
That's the asshole. Okay.
When he in that very last, so the last scene where he's kind of like lurking behind the tree, he couldn't wait to get in on the conversation. But he did feel like they were kind of, I think he did genuinely feel like they were ganging up on him, on her, so he had to, you know, defend his wife.
But was it serious enough?
Because it was after, right, it was after they went away. So he had heard that she felt ganged up on already, so he's like, I'm not going to let this happen again. I could see how that would be.
Is it serious enough to have the husband step in from some gossip about pills?
Yeah, I
know.
think to them, this is their whole life. She's not doing anything. She doesn't have a job. He's like, he used to be in real estate. Now he manages music businesses. They're trying to be in entertainment. So to them, they're like, this. We have to both get on camera. We have to both make a name for ourselves.
So we do kind of overlap them because he's camera thirsty. I mean, he's looking for a way in desperately to get on. You know, whether the intentions are different for why he's there between the two of us, but I don't know. PK, you got what you wanted. You got on the show twice.
The journalist in me just thought, wouldn't you like to talk to their nannies and just see not just that, but like, you know, the obvious, but seeing if they're actually hired for as much as they say they are. You know what I mean? If she's not working.
Exactly. What do they do? They have 9 staff members. What do they do?
Yeah.
Like,
They
I would
handle
really
Boy
like to know.
George. That's a
I know.
full-time job. That's a
Oh my
full-time job.
God.
They travel the world.
Then they're not just nannies, okay?
In PK's defense, he did say that he's an entrepreneur, and like you mentioned, friend, that they dabble in real estate. You know, I don't know how you can work in real estate when you file for bankruptcy. Just saying. I just don't know how it's
Whoa.
possible.
Maybe that's why he's now managing Boy George.
And those 9 nannies.
Yeah, there was some. I don't know what a sports tech firm is or something like that.
Yeah,
She
that was
mentioned
an
that.
interesting term.
Dorit,
Yeah.
remember, Dorit, it's a full-time job to look that good, first of all.
Sure.
Right? In Beverly Hills,
Go
it's a
for
full-time job. Second,
Yeah, but you know,
remember when
sure.
they used to remember they did that little thing where Eden came in and says, you guys need to get in shape, we need to get your core, and they started exercising with Dorit, and she could barely hold up. She doesn't have a lot of energy. She's not a strong person. So I think just being
Are you saying
her-
she's lazy?
No, I'm saying just being her.
Just
being her is a
I don't have
full-time
the
job.
energy to
It's a
that.
full-time job.
I don't know. I mean, but we look at other housewives like in New York and even in Orange County. I mean, it's like everyone's got a hustle going on that they're promoting, and they even had that segment where they showed like the women who work.
Yes, that's what, and I like to the left side of the room's credit. They were like, you should definitely continue. You're very
she
talented.
should. She should.
To give,
Yeah,
I
right.
give credit to them because they hate her and they were
Right.
like, keep going with it. And she should. You now have this platform.
Exactly.
Do
Oh my
something.
God,
Your-
yes.
So your husband manages Boy George. What else does he do? It seems like they
Yeah.
need money. They have a big staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, use your platform to design
Yeah, she-
swimwear.
Yeah, I mean, it's if anything, like she should. I don't know. I'm not saying she should feel embarrassed, but she wasn't in that segment about what the women have going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like
Jenna.
as a doer, I'd be like, oh my God, why am I not doing anything?
Yeah.
You know, and I would be like,
Being
have to be. in
housewife
that.
should
It
not be
was
your
that-
full-time job. Or his.
It was that other episode, Celebrity Apprentice, where they came in together, remember?
Oh,
and they went to
okay.
see his candy down the
Yeah.
street.
Okay.
And he gave $80,000 away. Now, how does somebody do that?
He's
That's-
probably lying or wrote it off.
Yeah.
I mean,
off.
I can say, hey guys, I just gave you $80,000. Good luck trying to get it.
Yeah.
Like,
So we don't
I
know.
don't know.
We don't know.
Now,
Only
that check
boy.
could come from an accumulation of people in the business that he's
Sure,
working
yeah.
with. You know, might not come up from Paul Kemsley's Bank of America account. You know? So I don't
That's a
know.
thought.
Yeah.
That's a thought.
But I mean, yeah, no, I don't know what else to say about that. I loved having a deep discussion about the Kemsleys. Erica says though that she's over it, and she's questioned, is she really over it? Lisa Vanderpump says, you need to have more of a, look at it from, more funny angle, having a sense of humor. I don't know. It's like Erica. Look, I said this last week. Erica has to let this go because she's going to look terrible if she doesn't at this point. But for someone who claims they don't give any Fs, she gave major Fs this season.
She
well,
really does.
when it deals with your bank account, I think, and her husband is the bank account. So I just think that if there's something going on there that causes a situation with her and her husband, she cares, and that's the only thing, and probably her son, obviously.
Why?
but-
And that's the thing is, why did she wait so long to tell Tom? And I thought I picked that up last week, where she's like, she still hadn't told him way into the show, but why did she wait so long?
Well, maybe because she didn't know if they would pick it up.
That's what she
on-
said, right?
yeah.
Like, this is turning into a storyline, so you might want to know about
Yeah.
this. But I feel like she forgot about it. She could care less, and then she brought it up again. So she cared a lot about it.
If they,
But I think because she needed a story, they must have been like, listen, you have to come up with something because you have nothing. So I think she brought it up just to have a storyline. It seems like.
Maybe.
Also, I think she did forget about it, and she did not have a problem with it until Dorit made that comment. Like, that's the first time you complimented me.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I hate this girl. And then she brought it up again and was like, you have caused a problem, for me.
I agree.
I think
She like
was
I agree.
reignited that that
Because she
candle.
was like, she didn't like Dorit anymore.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because someone pointed something out in her that, made her feel uncomfortable.
well, she's
again.
always cold as ice, supposedly through the whole thing, but it came out with she is sensitive at the very end of the season, which is what I always said.
Yeah.
She said she doesn't care and it just doesn't affect her, but we finally got the truth at the end that she is sensitive.
Yeah, and it's not surprising with creative types. You know, I had a feeling there was definitely you know, you see it all the time. People with a tough exterior sometimes have the softest insides.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Andy is always asking the same question. It's like, Andy, come on.
Did she told him off tonight though? I was like, I couldn't believe it. You
I
don't
liked
talk to a
it.
host like that.
I
It was
liked
it was
it.
surprising and it was great. Is she the only one strong enough to talk to Andy like that? Because that was a bit of a surprise.
She's probably the only one whose job security is most,
Yeah.
most guaranteed, right?
Good
Like, she's
point.
definitely coming back.
Good point.
That's
You
what I
care
wanted to
where
hear.
where your money's coming from, and it's not Andy.
I don't know if it was editing or what, but my God, he didn't let anything play out. Like, he just kept cutting them off and going on to next things, and he would ask a question that never got answered.
Yeah.
Yes, they would show a flashback and then not come back to the answer.
Yeah. No, that drives me crazy. What's the
Me
point of a
too.
reunion?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
especially if we're gonna have to sit through literally the 3-minute flashback of hellos.
Oh.
It felt like the special episode 4, where that's kind of the stuff you put at the end.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know?
That no one watches,
I mean,
but we did.
I love it.
But why did they cut out? They had PK saying there's something deep rooted in Erica's marriage. That's juicy.
Yeah.
That's something that
Yep.
could have been blown to
Yep.
bits.
Thank you.
They cut that out.
Like, really?
Why?
I
Yes.
know. You know, and I was thinking why. It's probably because it ends debates for a lot of people, because that's so matter of fact that he said that, and once you hear that, then you go, wow. Then there's no other discussion.
You
This,
think
yeah.
that must be it.
Yeah.
It almost felt like Erica was steering the show. Like she was in charge. She was dictating to Andy, we're not going to discuss this anymore, Andy.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Like she was being almost like the host. So
Yeah.
Andy needed to maybe take the reins back a little bit and run and go deeper and...
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Erica's-
She's getting paid a lot of money to sit on that couch.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta play the game if you're on the show.
And I feel like
And be
she
grateful.
thinks she's a major player now too. Like they're never going to get rid of her.
Yeah.
So I think she feels secure in that sense also.
Kyle is brought into it, actually. And about they questioned her on why she didn't tell Dorit it was a bad idea about the panties. Instead, she laughed about it. And of course, Lisa Vanderpump tried to really bring her into it with that. And yeah, so they said that it seemed you got some enjoyment out of the fact that she brought it there. And Kyle said, no, I said this wouldn't go well. But what they didn't show was when Kyle said, I want to be there when you show her the underwear. You know, I mean, if she thought it was going to go so bad, she wouldn't want to be in the same room.
I don't think she really thought it was going to go bad. I think up until that point, she thought that Erica was someone who didn't give any Fs, and she would probably laugh it off. So she probably said that in case it turned into something. That would
Okay,
be like good. you know?
insurance.
Right, yeah.
Insurance.
Yeah.
She
So
was
if you
hedging
go
her
back,
bets.
yeah, if you go back to this
Yes.
clip, I love it.
So Elisa Vanderpump reminds Kyle that she thought it was funny. Yeah, we've said that. Whatever. What else can we say? There'll be no apology to Tom because PK does not believe that the situation was reversed. Tom would owe PK an apology. I don't know. I didn't expect PK to own up to really anything. We really didn't get anywhere between him and then even him and Rita. You know, what can we say? PK made it about him. You know, he said, well, after all that's been said about me being labeled a pervert and a creep. And it's like, whoa, like, dude, really? It's not all about you for this, like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he said he made those comments, you know? I mean,
How hard is it to apologize anyway? You could just be
Yeah.
like, if
I'm
it were
so
my
sorry.
wife, you know, you'd be
Yeah.
like, listen, I'm sorry. Right, if I embarrassed her by even mentioning it, it's not that hard.
You mean to call Tom up on the phone?
Yeah, or just be like, I'm sorry this blew into something. I mean no disrespect to your wife. I know you love her and whatever. It's not that hard. And it's not that hard for Lisa Rinna, so this is a totally separate, right? Like they made that clear. They have separate issues with PK.
Yeah.
Totally the 7th housewife.
Yes.
And Lisa Rinna, did she apologize for insinuating that they have children in their house and there are people doing coke? No, did she?
No, I feel like
Well,
she's not answering the question.
I feel like 'cause
Yeah.
she thinks she's right. Because, you know, like they were
Something's
doing
going on.
coke.
Dyfus gets called to their house. Thanks, Lisa Rinna.
Yeah.
Like you created a big problem.
I know.
What if they found
Apologize.
something though? Whoa,
Yeah.
exclusive.
I felt
know.
it seemed like Dorit was answering the question very specifically. If Lisa Rinna didn't say it exactly right, then she could say no, or you know, we weren't doing that. I wasn't doing coke or PK.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And I
so
felt
maybe
there was
there
more
was-
to it. I felt like
yeah.
they weren't answering the question. They were like answering it generally. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe they were intimating some of their guests were doing it. I don't know that PK wasn't doing it, but he said he wasn't.
They never did.
But he, you know,
That's hilarious.
it seemed
to
like
me.
there was more going
I'm
on.
sorry.
It seemed like there was more going on, and they weren't
yeah.
really,
Right.
you know, at least Serena had something there.
Well, for him to say he never done coke in his life, that's hilarious. Like,
Because it's LA or what?
no, it's because he's like how old and he's in the music industry
Okay.
and come on, like we're not born yesterday. I mean, I'm a
more-
millennial, but I'm not
I get what you're
that.
saying. It's more likely that he would participate at one point in his life than not, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, that's just
allegedly,
funny
we
to
don't
me.
know, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I
But
can't.
PK, he's what was I gonna say here? The biggest miss of this show was these deep-seated issues with Erica's marriage. And Andy asked him about that once, and then they glossed right over it.
yes.
No, never answered it. They didn't go back to that. Erica, at least as far as the cut we saw, didn't say, yeah, by the way, what did you mean about that? Like, call him out about it. And, like, that was a huge missed opportunity.
Huge
Yes.
miss. Instead, they show the hellos. Who needs
Yeah.
the freaking hellos?
So do you guys think?
Oh.
I know. I want to know what those rumors are. Why she didn't talk to her husband for 6 months. Where is that coming from? Don't make us wait for the season 8.
And I think PK's right. I do think there are deep-seated issues between.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. Do you feel?
Last year, I can't get over this, and it's so maybe it's stupid, but I'm sorry. But last year, when he shushed her at dinner, I was like, I do not like this man. I want to know more of what's going on
I
between
remember
them.
you saying that here at this table.
I
Fern.
was like, that is not okay.
I remember you saying that. Yes.
So he's kind of controlling, right?
Oh my God, I don't. Well, I
And
don't
she
know.
goes,
I want to know what
she
people
goes
think.
with it. Well, she says
he's
tonight
the
that she believes a woman can stand on her own, even in the shadow of a powerful man. So
Until he shushes you at dinner on national
exactly.
television.
So she plays the game well. She is kind of doing her own thing now, but I feel like she is getting in hot water. I
Yeah.
think that Pantygate thing, when Tom heard about it, I think all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
And remember, the only scenes that we've seen with them in this season are them having those little business meeting dinners or lunches together. It
Yeah,
was
they were
kind of
really
weird.
nice
Like,
scenes.
even you guys in the chat room are saying that looked kind of strange to me, like they're strangers having lunch together.
Well, a lot of relationships are like that in Beverly Hills, unfortunately.
Are you looking for one like that?
God, I wouldn't be sitting here. Let me tell you
Let's
that.
have our
I would have
business
already
lunch.
had it. Let's not go there.
I like it. You'd be waiting to get on next season.
Yeah, I'd be holding the diamond.
I feel like there's these things that are called lat relationships, living apart together.
Yeah.
And you know, I know this great woman, and she's married, and they're so happily married. And she's got a place in West Hollywood, and he's got a place in Toluca Lake, and they
Oh.
stay together on the weekends, and during the week they do their own business.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
really, really are together. And I feel like maybe this is what works for them. Maybe they have an independent marriage. That's not to say it's open. I don't believe that. But I think maybe you.
I know
do your
somebody
own
like
thing.
that.
And honestly, that sounds pretty damn good to me.
A lot of those contracts have it like, well, you know, Tom.
Janet Jackson.
No, I'm saying,
yeah.
well, specifically with Tom and, you know,
Yeah.
Erica, it's like, okay, well, you can be with me for this certain amount of time. I'm going to be traveling around. You can get this. So it's probably something that simple. But when it comes down to when you're doing your own thing, do not make me look in a certain way. And this completely, you know, went
Well, that
against
was
their contract.
The first thing
yeah.
out of Lisa Vanderpump's mouth was to Erica, do you guys have a contract? Erica made it very clear in like one of the first episodes she was on, if Tom breaks this up, I get half of everything. So there is no prenup, there is no contract. She's getting it. And you know, she sings that in one of her songs. If you listen.
Yeah, it's not
What song
really
is that? Like, you know, I'm
Buy
like,
it with no prenup.
yeah, something like that.
That's
where
the latest one. That's how.
I'll be your
Expensive.
and I'll be your doormat, but I'll get everything too if you know if you that
yeah.
earlier song. So yeah, there is contract. I think Janet Jackson is more like that. We were
What a
talking about that,
twist.
but Erica, I think no. If Tom breaks up with her, she's gonna get it all.
Maybe she's trying to sabotage it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what a twist.
doubt
But what you were
She's an
saying
older
about that
lady,
couple
but not
that you
old.
know. Oh, go ahead.
There's
I was gonna say she's not a young chick, but she's not like Courtney Stodden, whatever. She, you know,
Right.
she's an old. When I mean older, I mean like she's like, you know, not a kid.
45,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like I don't believe she's out there to play games. If she was, she would have done it like 5-6 years ago.
Exactly.
Or
But that
she's-
couple
What are
you
you
were
gonna say?
talking about, it sounds like even if you're away during the week but you're together on the weekends, or you have whatever arrangement, as long as there's like a substance there, you care about each other, you appreciate each other, there's like good conversation,
Ideal.
you're best friends, it doesn't matter really like how many nights you sleep in the same house.
Yeah.
It seems like when they're having their dinners, they're
Yeah.
like strangers.
Yeah.
Well, she said on a reunion that his time is very precious, and whenever she can get time with him, she just cancels everything else. So then I've never heard of a wife refer to her husband's time like that.
There is so
Right.
much money at play, though. Even if they're not together in a business lunch, I don't think that she would leave him, even if she could get half of everything, because there's so much money coming in every
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
Yeah,
He
she's
makes
waiting
a
for
lot.
the whole enchilada in the end.
Like the substance of their
Yeah.
relationship, it seems like he doesn't know like her details, like like how's the next song going? What's it like? It seems
Yeah.
like he's not into the details of her life, which
Yeah.
is what you.
It's like, oh, your little
Updated,
project.
updated, up to date on
Yeah.
things.
But I
Yeah.
do feel they love each other.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't. I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I think they
feel
have
like they're
respect for each other, for sure, and they care for each other, of course. But that,
Why is she still with him if,
Oh, let's not talk
Well,
about this. We don't got to.
Yeah, I know we don't. I think, like, look, if you are living together or living apart together, or they're so independent, they're doing what they want to do. Why bother getting the divorce if you're happy with that lifestyle?
For
as it
sure.
is? This is all speculation. I've never been to their house. I don't know what's goes on.
I don't know them.
But I'm just saying. The best part of this episode for me was the back and forth with Erica and PK, and he's like, "Oh, I am so busy. I have so many projects." She's like, "Well, you have enough time to be here." And she said, and he's like, "Oh well, I was invited." She's like, "F that." She's like, "Well, you don't see Tom here," and I'm like, "Exactly."
I love it. That's so funny.
Exactly.
But Harry Hamlin and Tom weren't invited.
Right. Well, he should have known better. But anyway, PK is it's all about PK. We can't get past this guy. Oh my God. So so then he talks about Rinna being on drugs and imbalanced, and they show he's like, "Did you say that?" They cut to the clip. She's probably on drugs.
Sounds like Ken.
Yes. So Rinna admits that she was tired of all the Xanax allegations and the rumors, so she raised the coke rumor herself. And PK, we said he never said it. It's cited as a retaliation. That's the motivation behind Rinna, apparently. And so they take no ownership of. Oh yeah, PK took no ownership of the locker room talk that he had with Ken about Erica, which is like, even she said, just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken always says something off color on all these seasons
Yeah, he's another housewife.
too. Yeah.
I said it last
Yeah.
week. It's kind of passive aggressive.
It
He is doing the same thing to the camera, just behind their backs.
Are you talking about Ken?
Yeah,
Oh.
and it's nasty. It's not nice, and he does it season after season
Yeah.
after season.
What did Kim
I don't think
call
it's
him?
appropriate.
What did Kim call him? A nasty old man or something? Rinna. So Rinna is in the middle of all of this between Erica and PK the whole time. Instead of letting them take care of their business, she's right in the middle, which was kind of driving me crazy. But she had a lot to say about herself. I would back off, like, when it comes to the stuff that doesn't involve you personally. Erica says that we'll see what the future holds with being PK, but we'll probably have to start over. And I'm like, she's full of it. She's not gonna try to do anything. What do you have to try to start over with someone's husband for?
No, yeah.
It's not your own. Dorit says that they're busy with a talent agency, a sports tech business, and that she doesn't do the swimsuits anymore. We talked about that and how she should get back to it, but I thought it was important to call out what they actually do. Like, we didn't know. We just didn't know.
There's a lot of people in Beverly Hills that just being themselves is a full-time job, and they have a lot of staff. They
guess,
really do.
yeah.
It's a different life. It really is.
I wonder how you write that off in your taxes.
You do. You have a staff of 9. Listen, you have all these people helping you, and you do write it off. You do.
Yeah, I know.
Except for Lisa Vanderpump, I'm sure she makes sure her taxes are correct for the 2 Rosies that help her.
It's
So-
it's a world unknown to me when it comes to these people who have like unlimited time on a Wednesday at 3:30 in the afternoon. I just cannot relate to what that is. Like, the people who just don't work, and then what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
There's a
Yeah,
lot
so-
of time at the plastic surgeon's offices to keep
Shopping.
up.
How do you
Shopping.
Don't you feel odd though by not making money yourself, bringing in something to
Right,
provide?
I'm like, how do they pay for it? Do you think, was Dorit's family wealthy? Does she have a trust fund?
Sounded like she came from a good family.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
like
So
Connecticut
she might
could
not
be.
have to work.
Well, Kim and Eden join now. And there's a hidden guest behind the couch that we'll talk about in a minute. And we learned that in 1996, Kim dated the President of the United States, possibly had sex with the dog.
Possibly, wasn't it clear? She even wanted to own up to it.
Oh, Lord.
But he's the
Can't blame her
president.
there.
I can't talk about it now.
Can't
Like
blame
Marilyn
her.
Monroe or something.
So
Sorry.
Eden tweets a lot about Kyle, and they had the back and forth about what was said. And Eden says that everything Kyle said during the season was mean, and she would very hard time watching this back. And Kyle said that it was untrue that she was cold to Eden when she initially met her at game night.
And we're going back to that again because that did come up before. I think she must have been cold. I don't know that we saw it all, but if Eden said it, if Eden felt it, I believe her. And I also felt like Eden, I was like with her throughout the whole show tonight. I felt she's innocent, good. I believe her. I'm with her all the way.
Are you wearing crystals around your neck like Eden?
Yes, it is very Housewives.
Yeah.
It was for a guest tonight too that didn't come, but anyways, yeah, I just glammed it up just a little bit, just for you guys. Only this show,
I
only this
just
show.
noticed. I just noticed.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills, yeah.
So it comes up how Eden inserted herself between Lisa Rinna and Kim. And Eden says that she looked up to Kyle, which I believe, and I thought that was kind of a nice moment for her to try to reel it in as to why she was so involved. Obviously, that must have been the most discussed or sent in question, because even we had to talk to her, like, don't you feel as though you overstepped? So she felt that she had to speak out, and I can understand that when you're told someone's, like near death and enabled, you feel like you're put in a position where you must speak. Especially when you've got Lisa Rinna being so animated in your face. Kim calls out Eden after repeating the lie to Lisa Vanderpump. She said, you should have went to the source. You should have went to me. You should have said, what the truth is. But
she can't win. It was a touchy situation.
Yeah.
She first she's being ridiculed for not going straight to Kim. I don't know that would have been appropriate. And then Kim's like, "You're in my face," And then she feels Eden's absolutely right on this. Eden is who she is. She can be whoever she wants to be. This is her first reality show. You can't expect her to know everything to do. And frankly, I don't know that she did anything wrong. She decided to go to Lisa Vanderpump as a friend and say, "Look, this is what happened. This is what's going on. Maybe you can guide me a little bit on this." That seemed appropriate to me too. So everything that she's being ridiculed about all night, to me, is not substantiated.
I get
It
that.
made sense to me. Everything that Eden did made sense to me. Every act that she did.
Yeah,
wow.
If she hadn't said anything and they showed that, then people might have been like, how could you let Lisa Rinna say that and not challenge her, or not at least let Kim or Kyle even know, like, this is what she's saying about your sister.
Yeah.
But I think that she went to Lisa Vanderpump, and she probably went to Lisa Vanderpump because she's the queen bee, she's the OG.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely.
Yeah, that was probably a mistake, or maybe, it was
Would you
a
go
little
straight to Kim
misguided.
though?
But maybe she should go to Kyle and be like, listen,
Yeah, maybe.
This is what's being said about your sister on national television.
Yeah.
I just want you to know.
Safe route.
Yeah.
And she kind of did that, though. She kind of broached it with her, I think it was the 20s party, and she said, look, this is what's going on. Or are you guys drinking or whatever? And she even brought the mother into it, which I just read this week may have been true. The mother may have been a drinker, but I don't want to go there. But it's like she did kind of try to broach it with Kyle in a way, and they all just said, "You're in our face, you're in our face."
Yeah.
But
And
I
the
don't
show,
know that
to
she did
be
anything
fair
wrong.
To Eden, the show makes it look like they sat down for lunch and she was like, "Was your mother in alcohol?"
Yeah,
Which
right.
probably didn't happen. Like, she
Right.
probably felt really comfortable with them. She probably was like, we both had this issue in our family, and they probably got to talking. So she probably wasn't as aggressive as they make it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
They asked the question that I've been dying to hear since we saw the scene in that clothing store between Eden and Rinna. Andy asked Rinna, why did you make those comments about Kim and her addiction and being going off the rails? Never answered the question. They just went on to the next thing. I wanted to know, what was the motivation for that? Why did she feel as though she had to warn Eden?
Yeah.
We don't know. And
People
that drives
are
me
agreeing
crazy.
with you. People are agreeing with you, Grant, that Andy did not do such a good job tonight, and that you are absolutely right.
Well, that was never answered. Rinna claimed, I know. Thank you, though. I'm glad that we're on the same page, everyone. Thank you. Or most of you. Rinna claims that they made amends and they have big hopes for the future. And then a bunny appeared.
Oh.
And, I have to say, last week was our Easter show. And Chris, you brought in.
Oh
a
God,
bunny.
don't do this to me. Do
And
not
I
do
just have to. I don't know if it came from a good place. I'm just kidding.
Oh God.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Oh
Chris,
my God.
I'll mail you mine.
Listen.
I'm just kidding.
I'm watching the episode and I'm literally dying. I think this is the absolute worst thing I have ever seen on television. Maybe it's just me, but when Rena started crying, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot blame you for being upset. This is absolutely so inappropriate.
Come on.
Listen,
though.
these are women that are supposed to be the elite of society. This is Beverly Hills.
Really?
Not talking about other cities or the country or anything, but you would expect them to know a certain decorum, to act a certain way,
That's
to
why
be
they have a
gentlemen
show.
and ladies. Now, even if Kim is superstitious, and even if she feels this bad energy, all of a sudden she's eaten, knows about energy, and she doesn't want to have it, you throw it away, right? Right, Fern? You don't give it back to the person who gifted it to you. I am so appalled. And for you to do that to me tonight, Grant, I will always
I
remember.
brought the bunny ears.
How dare you? Did you know this was going to happen?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God.
I did because I saw.
Oh my God.
I saw it in the preview, and I purposely left these ears on my passenger seat in my car.
God.
They were just sitting
I
there.
said, this is gonna make a good joke because I knew she was
Listen,
gonna bring
guys,
it.
he sprung this
so
on this
funny.
live. I did not see it coming, and he knew I was dying when we were watching it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my
I just wanted a
God.
good laugh. It's all harmless fun.
I love it.
We're cool.
I love it.
But yeah, the bunny ears. I had to bring my own.
But in all fairness, does Kim really act sober? Like she doesn't. So what? Like she doesn't
No.
do things with social cues. So it's not
Exactly.
bad for Rinna to question or even Eden to question. Oh, has she been drinking? No, that's her personality. That's the proper answer. She's just acts like she's fucked up 90% of the time.
It doesn't excuse it.
Yeah, right.
But it does go in line with how she acts on Twitter. Everybody says
Because it's her personality. That's
Kim,
who she is.
but it's crazy. It's
Exactly.
like absolutely.
Oh, I'm not giving her an
and it's
excuse.
so
I'm not
hate-filled.
enabling her.
Yes.
But
Here's the
that's who
thing.
she is.
Yeah, this was, and Eileen even said this was a calculated move. But I want to say, I feel like it came so far out of the blue as a viewer because they had that moment where she brought this knowing that she was going to have this dramatic moment with Rinna.
Yeah.
But then they kind of like dialed it back and they were like, we have high hopes for the, I love her, she owns it and all this. And then it was almost like a plant where she was like, no, I got to do it.
Exactly.
Despite feeling the energy and being like, you know
Exactly.
what? I don't think it's a good idea to bring it
And
up.
you wouldn't have done that, Grant. You wouldn't have done that to
I
me.
just did it a minute ago.
You're gonna
biggest
go through
left
this.
turn in reunion history. They were like so going along just fine. They showed them hugging. She gave her a compliment. I love her energy when she comes. I love her when she comes on TV. And then it just switched. It was
like
weird.
Because she's psychotic.
Kim can be. Kim can be.
Andy asked the question, "What happened to the bunny?" And you were right. You're right. She's like, "Well, I brought it. I have to pull this stunt, even though."
Kim can be very mean. I mean, we saw it
Yes.
with
Yeah.
everyone, all the other former housewives. I mean, even Brandy, that first, you remember that game night. So it's like, yeah, Kim's tough. I don't know what the hell she's
And
doing.
she's
but I listened to her understanding because I wanted to get behind what she was saying, and I could understand it to a point of being hurt. But then once Eileen said that it was really just a manipulative moment, I got that too. I wanted to kind of be the devil's advocate for her because Lisa Rinna did say some lousy things about Kim.
Absolutely.
So
I feel like if you're talking about, because what she's saying about energy, it's not being superstitious. She's right. Things hold energy. If you're talking about that and then you give it back to her, which attaches your negative energy to it, you understand nothing about energy.
Thank you.
If
Thank you.
honestly understood
Yes,
that,
Fern.
you would say, okay, she gave me this. She has bad intentions. She's going to go to the camera right now and talk bad about me behind my back. I'm not giving this to my grandson. Give it to a charity because then it has, you and Lisa Rinna have no energy attached to the person who receives it. So just give it away.
Yeah.
Make something good out of it.
Positive.
I have been on
Don't
Kim's.
make
with
it
you.
worse.
Yeah. I have been on Kim's side since the very beginning. I've supported her. She's a Disney star. I'm all about respecting somebody that's been in this business longer than anybody. But what happened tonight, it was like what you were saying, Grant. I felt like she knew she was going to do it, so she's just going to follow through, which she shouldn't have. She should have
Yes.
dialed it back. She should have rethought about it. That was just vicious. And I cannot support that.
that bunny belongs in a Housewives Smithsonian. I hope that surfaces
In a
somewhere.
glass case.
Yes.
And they kept like doing cutaways to it. They kept cutting away to this.
It's still in the
bunny
plastic. Oh my gosh. She didn't even take it out
With
of the
that
plastic.
ruffled noise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what big hopes they had for their relationship because
gone
Rena melted down. I mean,
Yeah.
she
I'm surprised she got that upset, actually.
Yeah, I was too. She posted an Insta story, and it was today, and she was buying some Gucci picture. I don't know what the hell it was. It was like, when you cry about a bunny on TV, you treat yourself to Gucci.
Do you think it was real, guys? Do you think the tears were real? Because I know you're questioning that, right, Fern?
Well, no, they looked real. I just
looked
feel like
real.
It was.
was she ever really good friends with Kim? Like, did she really give a
I
crap?
think it was more of like just wow.
Like, you
you
humiliated
can
me.
no,
Yeah.
like you can get to that level of just being that person. Like wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I understand. I don't have
Yeah.
to say anything. I get it.
I'm hoping
It
it
was
was
so overtly
real.
mean.
I'm really, really hoping we got to see a very emotional moment of Lisa Rinna being real. That's what I'm hoping it was. We got to see her behind the gate, you know, and
If not, she needs a new agent and she needs to win an Oscar.
oh my gosh.
Kim, we have to say, like, for Kim, you know, she did get her redemption, I guess, because she said, "Oh, good, I'm glad that Lisa Rinna is upset because she really hurt me, so now I got a chance to hurt her."
She sounds so mature. And so, like,
It's just sounding worse and worse.
right.
Yeah,
Her energy
I
is
know.
so pure.
You know what she should have
Kidding
done?
me?
She should have, well, maybe she should have, but she could have brought it out and said, "Look, I was going to bring this, and I was going to give this back to you because I was so upset, and I had this planned out." But
That would have been perfect,
you know,
Grant.
we had a moment here, and I choose to capitalize on this moment, and I'm going to let you know that this is by me bringing this
Yes.
out. This is me saying that I am going to make a new direction.
Oh, I
That would've
love
been
that.
And she would have still had her reality TV moment and looked good.
Well, she would have
she's
looked
not
great.
okay.
She would have looked great if she just did that.
I don't know. Maybe she's like losing her mind and she's been in the business so long and she was just going to get that moment, but it just didn't work.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it was not. She did not come off good on that.
Yeah, well, Eileen didn't do much in this show, unfortunately.
Oh,
Such a Eileen.
I know I want to see more of her. She said that, you know, she knew that when that moment was very demeaning towards Rinna, and then Kim storms the set, bunny in hand, looking for Lisa Rinna.
Oh my gosh. Can I talk to you? No.
First of all, it wouldn't be a reunion if Lisa Rinna did not walk off set.
I know.
So we got that.
Yes.
She's given it. She brought it.
right.
She's bringing the emotions, and
Like a true housewife.
Yeah.
I would have thought
it.
maybe Erica would have gotten up and comforted her, or a few more of the girls. You know, I expected more. Like I would have been there. So
I used to hate when they broke from off the set because I thought it was very like Flavor of Love, like Jerry Springer, like you could follow them in the back. Like I was like, that's so not great for like the Housewives. It's kind of trashy, but I actually kind of want to see more of that because those are the real raw moments.
they have the boom ready, and you get to see all the camera guys. They get their little
rush.
moment.
Yeah.
You get to see the set. So I love it. I love all the behind the
All right,
scenes
guys,
stuff.
we're moving. We're moving.
They have so
Kim's
many
on the loose with the
cameras.
bunny.
All right.
They should know with Lisa Rinna, you gotta have a mobile cam ready, you know, because something's gonna happen. She's gonna walk off set, and we want to
my
follow it.
God.
And they have so many cameras at these reality things, so many, so they could afford to have one follow and have be on the ready.
I was a little underwhelmed by part 1. Part 2, I feel like was pretty great, except for all those hellos. I don't know what that was all about.
There was probably a filler for some paid off edits, I think, by Tom. Like you could just slip him a couple and, you know, they'll edit something out real quick and put in something. Okay, let's just put in the hellos and just fill in the
I
space.
enjoyed it. Call me with some plasticky or not a lot of depth, but I enjoy all the Hollywood kiss hellos. I love it, so I enjoyed it.
You can put up anything and
I'll love it.
How do we feel about part 2 with our overall?
it's all right. I'm excited for 3. I feel
Okay.
like 3 will really bring it. Yeah.
Okay, I was living for the bunny, so now that's made its appearance. I'm like, okay, what's next?
I wanted to see a little bit more from Eden. I think, you know, Eden had told us the episode 2 is going to be great. We didn't know anything, but she had a lot hitting her, and I want to just see her. I like that we got to see some responses from her and how she's reacting to all this. She held her own. She did great. Do we know what's going to happen in the episode 3 too much? Like,
Because they never talked about Eden and Rinna's fight.
I think she's coming back, but and Kim's come back. We saw her in the
Yeah.
preview.
The heat is back on Dorit about the drugs.
Will PK be back?
No. If he can't, if he
he's gonna
will, he
forget.
can. If he will, he'll be there. If he can't, if he's
He'll
invited.
circle the building. Does anyone need some water?
There's nothing wrong about being camera thirsty. There's a million people that would love to be in LA and be on a reality show. So I don't fault anybody for wanting to be on camera.
Whatever.
Love it. Love it. All right.
You want a reality show, girl? Come on. No.
I would do it. I would do it, but I would never be. You wouldn't catch me trying to get airtime on someone else's. Just saying.
Okay.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
that's how you get
There's
your own
reality
reality show.
etiquette, okay?
It took-
I could be on anything, and I choose wisely.
You want to be a principal right off the bat, but these people like Lisa Rinna have been on millions of reality shows. She's been doing it forever. They showed some.
We're talking about PK.
He's getting started. He is getting
He's like
started.
60.
He's on Hollywood Medium.
We got it just for men hair dye though. So we
That's not a millennium.
Harsh. So old people can't be. He's not that old, but older
know.
people can't get on a reality show.
Oh, clearly he can.
Look, I think if you're going to do reality TV, you have to be very authentic and come across real. And
Thank
he's
you.
just looking to be on TV.
Yes.
That's
Very
my,
different.
I would not be convinced otherwise. That's my opinion.
I
I watch him. I'm just like, all right, he's looking for the buzzwords. He's looking to see how many people he can get upset. So I don't know. We talked so much about PK on this show from however many episodes. It's right below us. I don't know the number. What is it? 21?
22.
20
Yeah.
tonight.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Chris knows. So, yeah, I know we've talked so much about PK. I'm excited to retire him now, and hopefully we can get on to other
Goodbye,
things.
PK.
And everybody agrees with you, Grant, on that one.
Like Kim and Rinna. We need a little bit more Kim in part 3. But let's talk about some news and gossip.
Ooh.
Let's get into it, because we've got some interesting stuff to talk about. Let's look at a clip. Before we roll the clip, this is from Dancing with the Stars. Spoiler alert about Dancing with the Stars. Turn off now if you haven't watched. What's her face?
Erica Jane.
What's that girl's name?
Sparkle
Erica.
Plenty.
Erica has departed from the Dancing with the Stars season this year. But I want to, we've all kind of got to know Erica and what she's thinking. This is her being, of course, we would love to show all the dances on it. That's all on YouTube. And I'm not trying to show the part where she got thrown off. But I want you to watch her reaction and let's discuss. Let's take a look at the video from Dancing with the Stars.
Erica and Gleb.
She's stepping down the stairs and now she's going to give an interview with that Tom Bergeron.
That.
I'm upset. You were one of my favorites, and you knew that. But tonight you did have a breakthrough. I mean, is there anything you can say about what tonight was like for you?
It was incredible. I mean, I did have a breakthrough. I've had a wonderful time. Thank you all so much. Yeah.
I saw you saying to Gleb, I told you, did you sense this was coming tonight?
Tom, I didn't say that.
I think I saw you. I'm a good lip reader. Yeah?
No, it was great. It was great. It was an incredible experience.
Gleb, what was your experience with Erica?
I'm so proud of you. I had
Thank
a great
you.
time. You really did a great
Thank
job.
you.
And you wowed me, and you wowed the judges tonight.
Thank you.
Good job.
You did.
You certainly went out on a high note. You certainly
thank
did.
you.
It was lovely. Take a bow center stage.
Armor up. Armor up.
Major.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. It was a great experience.
No. Thank
over
you.
and over.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To me, it was like, get the keys, we're out of here. Like I felt like she was
exactly.
done, like
Yeah.
through, over it. Now, she got on a plane to go to New York to do Good Morning America. The GMA interview was more positive and she had more fun with it, and I will say it was better overall. But in that clip, she was ready to go.
Again, it looked like she was humiliated, just like on scenes on the show. I think last week she was humiliated when she was in the bottom 2 again, I think it was. So it was like she puts
I
her...
would use uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's just like, I feel like she's just like, okay, this doesn't happen, because it was like spotlights on her, everything positive up until now with her husband.
And people are saying maybe it's because the national audience didn't get that she's being a real housewife, showing who she is, completely, and they didn't accept that part of her, the money and the glamour and this and that's who I am, and maybe they didn't connect with the audience.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's very possible to not connect. I've watched a little bit of Dancing with the Stars, but it's not my favorite. But
Don't you just love Tom?
But to me, they have like this dynamic where you can't really get to know the person that much. You either know them going in or whatever, because when they show the rehearsals and the package before they go on, it's always like, I'm messing up, I'm not going to be able to do this, or this is some accident. I feel like you're not seeing the dimensions that we see of Erica. So yeah, for a national audience, that's a tough platform for someone like Erica, who's so put on and so larger than life, to be able to harness.
Right.
But she said in GMA that she was very appreciative and that she claims she was not ready to go, which I do not believe.
No, I think she was.
I thought she seemed really disappointed. Like she wanted to stay, and when she was disappointed, she's like, "We're out of here."
I thought she was gonna be the final two.
Okay,
I don't know.
In that clip, to me, she was just like, "We're out. Like, let's come back, going home."
I felt like she was humiliated, and she just didn't want to be on camera anymore.
Yes.
But didn't she just perform at somebody's party? It
Christina
was
Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera, because we're always criticizing her. She's in LA, and she never performs. She kind of would do what I would do. If it's not being filmed, why bother type thing. Like, I'd rather, her focus on Dancing with the Stars, on this show. But maybe we need, I'm glad to hear she at least did that party. And she's doing, maybe she could do a little bit more live events here and around the country.
I agree. I would go again.
Yeah.
Oh, I would go.
Yeah. Congrats to Eileen for being featured on People's annual list of World's Most Beautiful this year. And it was she was in the all ages category, and they photo of her on the red carpet for Beverly Hills. And Eileen, not to talk about people's ages, but I will, because she looks good. She's 57 years old.
Oh my God, she looks amazing.
I could talk about how her face doesn't match up with some other things, but
She is
I love her.
57 years old.
Listen, I love her, and she looks great. She looks great.
She looks
whatever
fab.
she's doing, and it's getting better. But Eileen, I just want you to be more engaged in your social media out of all the girls, because I've talked to her, and we talked a little bit about it. But please click, tweet, yes, like, and interact a little bit more with your fans, because we love you. Okay.
More insight on this new TV show for Kyle Richards. The show American Woman will premiere in the first quarter of 2018. So it'll probably be on the air 1 year from today. So, don't set your DVRs just yet. It's going to be on the Paramount Network, which I was like, what's that?
What's that?
Paramount Network is replacing Spike. It's going to be more general.
Okay.
So originally this was slated for TV Land, and I thought that was great, because TV Land, it was like a perfect fit. It's like an old, not an older, but it's a TV person in Hollywood coming to do a show. I thought it would be great for that, but they're trying to find more people that will be more general audience. Spike was a man's network.
I was gonna say, the straight guys lost a channel? Really?
I know, right?
Wow. It seems like all the studios that have their own channel now. So I can't wait to see what Paramount brings out. But
So this is part of it. So it really shows the departure of what Spike had. So it's all part of the Viacom family. They own both Paramount Network, Spike, and TV Land. So it's all part of the same. And Kyle will serve as the co-executive producer. And it's set in the 1970s, and Cheyenne Jackson is going to be on it as a character, and they showed a picture of him in this great 70s look. So a lot of people like him. I think he's really good looking and a good actor, so that's a nice attachment for the show. So
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah,
I'm
curious.
interested.
talk about your show just for like 2 seconds. Feud. It is my favorite. Besides Beverly Hills Housewives. Are you guys watching that?
So good.
You are fabulous on the after show
Thank
with
you.
Maria.
That's a great show.
I love it.
That's amazing.
The finale.
I need to watch the after show.
You're doing the
great.
finale like in a few days,
The
right?
finale's this Sunday, and
Gosh.
it's only 8 episodes, and it's on FX, and it's the story of Joan Crawford and Betty Davis, and it's fascinating.
It's the
and
greatest show.
Every
So
episode
juicy.
looks like a movie. It's so
It's
juicy.
Ryan Murphy.
Yeah,
Anything
it's
that he
amazing.
does is like
gold.
perfection.
That
Yeah.
Oscar episode was that's what needs to be nominated
Oh
for the
man!
Emmy.
Oh, it
Listen,
will.
they need to
they
get
will.
an Emmy, a Tony, a SAG, everything.
So
Yeah.
good. Oh,
So
that,
good.
That Jessica Lange. I mean, she's got embarrassment of riches in a character.
Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, she is playing that character to the hilt.
It
Oh,
is
just
perfection. They're
amazing.
doing a red carpet on Thursday here. For a feud. Are you going to that? Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll
You'd
watch
think
you on
I don't know if I'll be there, but
Okay.
anyways, you'd think that it would be at the beginning of the season, so I guess it's like a wrap-up red carpet. I don't know,
well,
but
it's
anyways,
doing
Jessica
well, so
Lange
yeah.
is supposed to be there, Susan Sarandon, everybody, but we're
I'm
gonna be
look
watching you.
for it. I'm gonna look
We're gonna be
for it.
watching
Oh,
you.
you're sweet.
Great, yeah. So
It's such a good show. It's
another
amazing.
pack of women yelling at each other.
Yes.
It's the
feuds.
same thing.
More
That's what I
feuds.
said.
It's
I
the
said
same
I'm
thing
not
as this
analyzing
show.
Bitches. I love Housewives. I love Feud.
Yes, fabulous show.
This is why Fern and I are good friends. Yes, well, you guys will keep up with all of us. I know I'm talking about Feud and some of the Housewives on my podcast. I just put a new episode today with my grandmother who's called in here a few times. And that's over on all major podcasting platforms, Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk.
I'm Jennifer Leone, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV.
I'm Fern Ronay. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Fern Ronay, RONAY, and my website, fernronay.com.
Isn't she cute?
Oh, you're so sweet.
And guys, I'm Chris Valentine. Thanks for watching again. You can find me on Twitter at AKA Golden Boy, Instagram Chris Valentine 17, and check out my celebrity interviews, chrisvalentine.la.
Sounds good. You can keep up with all of us. Our thanks to Fern for joining, and our thanks to Jimbo in the booth. We'll be back with part 3 next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.